Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
All right, let's take it from the top again. Places. Action.
Well, let's see, we have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You're going to be the coach, too?
Yes.
And you know the fellow's name?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing
Who
first.
is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to this week's edition of Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and this week we're going to hear from Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life from 1949. But kicking things off for us this week is an episode from Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, starring Lamont Johnson. A spoiled teen starts acting out and gets into trouble with the law. Maybe Tarzan, who's thinking about trading jungle life for the city, could help set him straight. From May 16th in 1953, this is Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, with Tarzan and the Hot Rod Kid. We're glad you've joined us this week because it's Classic Radio Rewind episode number 65, and it begins right now.
From the heart of the jungle comes a savage cry of victory. This is Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. From the black core of dark Africa, land of enchantment, mystery, and violence, comes one of the most colorful figures of all time, transcribed from the immortal pen of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Tarzan, the bronzed white son of the jungle. And now, in the very words of Mr. Burroughs, the story of Tarzan and the Hot Rod Kid.
Captain Lawrence had called on the Lord of the Jungle once more, this time to free a recently founded settlement from the ravages of a man-eating lion. The King of Beasts proved to be diabolically clever, and Tarzan and Captain Lawrence had been stalking their quarry for days. Now, in the hush of night, they crept slowly forward along the edge of jungle that skirted the great desert. The air was motionless, and for the moment Tarzan had lost the scent. Nearby, a dik-dik scurried for cover, and a blesbok calf deserted a tender clump of grass and scampered off into the shadows.
Why are you fitting an arrow to your bow, Tarzan? There's no sign of the beast.
The blesbok and the dik-dik have keener senses than either of us, Captain Lawrence. And they just sent out an announcement that Numa is very close.
And if you ask me, we've muffed it this time. For all we know, the creature may have circled back.
Watch out, Captain. Duck down. Quickly now.
Oh, nice shot, old boy. Right between the eyes. Well, shall we have a look at the old devil?
I suppose so. You were right when you said old. Probably too old to catch antelopes or zebras, and hunger must have driven him to become a man-eater.
Oh, what he lacked in speed, he must have made up in cunning.
That's nature's law of compensation. Well, Captain, here's my victim.
Your victim? That's a strange way of putting it. I might have known something was wrong when you didn't sound your victory cry after that splendid shot.
I didn't feel victorious, Captain. I've seen too much of violence in my lifetime. In the future, when you have such a job, you shall have to find a professional hunter who makes a business of killing. I'm leaving the jungle.
Really, old man, you can't be serious.
As long as I remain here, I shall be drawn into one act of violence after another. It's inevitable in the Congo.
And where will you live? Paris? London? The States, perhaps?
I haven't the remotest idea.
Well, as long as you haven't made up your mind yet, you may as well come along with me to the new colony to let them know their enemy is dead. Then perhaps I can help you decide the best place to go, after you've abdicated as Lord of the Jungle.
This miserable collection of huts we're approaching is the new colony you spoke of?
Yes, but don't judge it too harshly. You see that huge pipeline?
Yes.
The men that built this small settlement laid that pipeline over hundreds of miles of desert and jungle. We'll give them a few years, and this will be a modern community anyone could be proud of.
It seems a strange location to select as a new...
Who approaches?
It's Captain Lawrence, Mr. Singer. I bring good news.
News?
About the lion?
Killed by the arrow of my companion here. Tarzan, Mr. Ludwig Singer, leader of the pioneers.
I'm happy to know you, Mr. Singer.
You will be a great hero among our people, Tarzan.
For having killed the lion?
He took the lives of some of our most important men. Vaslenko, who was in charge of cutting the road so we could get our only truck through. Ashkenazi, who drove the truck and had some knowledge of mechanics. Wertheim, who knew a little about guns and hunting. Oh, but I'm forgetting to be hospitable in my ruminations. My home is right here. You must have refreshments.
Well, thank you,
We'd
but
be delighted. Come along, Tarzan.
I can offer you only some remnants of tinned meat and some wine grown sour, but it is the law that one must share with the stranger who is within thy gates.
Mr. Singer, I'm a man of the jungle, and I'm used to speaking bluntly. Why have you chosen this miserable stretch of barren land as a site for your colony? You're surrounded by dangerous animals and warlike Bedouin outlaws. It's a violent place.
Oh, its violence is as nothing compared to that from which we escaped in Europe. And our pipeline will make this land fertile.
Yes, but surely when the jungle teems with game and fruit, you need not subsist on sour wine and tinned meats until your crops have matured.
Those of us who are left are tillers of the soil. Wertheim was a prey to the lion. We had counted on him to teach our young men how to hunt and to locate edible foods that grow wild.
There is no one left to instruct them in the ways of the jungle.
No one. But we shall manage.
Oh, it's impossible to manage without such knowledge. I'm leaving the jungle soon, but first I must return to my seacoast cabin for the few mementos I have of the parents I never knew. On my way back, I shall stop here, and I'll remain until your young men are trained.
It would be a great service, Tarzan. My thanks to you, and to the power that directed your footsteps here.
We must go now, Captain Lawrence.
Whatever you say, Tarzan.
May fortune travel with you.
I shall return, Mr. Singer.
Keep up the good work, Singer.
Goodbye. Marcus, Yanova, put your ears to the big pipe. It sounds as though someone were tampering with it. And if enemies destroy the pipeline, then our life savings, our grueling work, and our fondest dreams will have vanished into thin air long before Tarzan's return. Now back to our story of Tarzan and the Hot Rod Kid. Had one searched the wide world over, it would have been impossible to find a room that contrasted more completely with the frugality of Ludwig Singer's hut on the edge of the jungle. The walls of this room were richly burnished Natal mahogany. The floor was covered with a luxuriously thick rug from the Orient. The enormous desk was of hand-carved Asiatic teakwood, and the various ornaments and trophies that adorned it represented the most unique as well as the most expensive souvenirs of many lands. The distinguished-looking man who sat at the costly desk obviously belonged among such rich appointments. His well-tanned face spoke of tropical suns and open seas. His clothing reflected Savile Row and Fifth Avenue, and his very manner was one of wealth and importance.
Yes? This is Cromwell. Oh, hello there, Reynolds. No, afraid not. I'm off again in a day or two. Africa this time. Nonsense, I've had the Althea made just as seaworthy as any ocean liner, and it's far more convenient to travel on one's own yacht. What's that? Oh, the boy. Well, he'll be all right on his own. He always has been. Oh, thanks a million, Reynolds. Sorry I can't make it. Bye now.
You busy, Dad?
You ever see me when I wasn't?
No, I certainly haven't. Sorry I bothered you.
Oh, wait a minute, Jerry, wait a minute. I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong impression. I can certainly spare you a minute or two.
Thanks. I'll try not to take any longer than
Good grief, son. What's that you've got all over your clothes and face?
Nothing but a little grease.
Grease? What have you become since I saw you last? A garage mechanic?
I've been building a hot rod.
Some new type of gun?
No, Dad. It's a car. A sort of racer.
Oh, well, that's fine. What was it you wanted to see me about, son?
Well, I need a special kind of carburetor for my hot rod, an expensive one, And I'm
financially embarrassed, huh? Oh, don't worry about it, Jerry. I'll have the office deposit some money to your account tomorrow. Sorry I've slipped up on that score, Jerry. In the future, just call Miss Payne at the office. If you run short, I'll leave word with her before I leave.
You're going away again, Dad?
Not for a couple of days yet. What, you're not upset about it, surely?
No, but I was sort of wondering, Dad, while you're away, could I take a job and maybe, instead of living here with the servants, share a joint with some other guys or board somewhere?
Well, I'm sure you wouldn't like living in a joint or boarding, Jerry. And besides, the new term at military school must start pretty soon, doesn't it?
I graduated from military school almost 4 months ago, while you were in Hong Kong or Shanghai or someplace.
Why, that's wonderful. Pretty young to graduate, aren't you?
Just average. I'm 17.
Time really flies. Well, I'll select a good college for you before I leave and fix it so that you get the best fraternity right away. Then you'll be able to stay at the fraternity house. That ought to satisfy your demands.
But I have no desire to go to college.
I rebelled at first myself, but a good education's a must. Now, you run along. I'll take care of everything.
But, Dad, please listen. I haven't the grades for any of the big colleges, and what I'm really interested in
I'm not interested in any screwball ideas you may have picked up while I've been away. Now, there's no need for you to take a job some other boy might really need. You're going to get an education, whether you want one or not, and you'll have to endure living in this modest little house. Now, I don't expect any thanks for what I provide, but it strikes me that for a young man who's received everything he's ever asked for...
You don't have to provide anything else for me. Ever. And you can forget about putting that money in my account. I'll make out without help, and if I want something, like that carburetor, for example, I'll manage to get it on my own.
Now, wait a minute, son.
That night, a gang of unidentified teenage bandits held up a gas station, slugged and bound the attendant, and made off with the contents of the cash register, the bullets of pursuing cops whistling by their heads. The following day, Jerry bought the coveted carburetor, and his hot rod was completed. To the admiration of his pals, Jerry opened her up on the old turnpike, and the converted flivver hit better than he. But the trial run proved to be the hot rod's last. With a squeal of brakes, the fragile car catapulted into a heavy truck, and Jerry was buried beneath a shower of jagged glass and splintering steel.
Sit down, Mr. Cromwell.
Thank you, Judge Martin.
You may pull up one of those small chairs, Jerome.
I can stand up.
Yes, you're very fortunate to be able to after that crash. It's a miracle no one was seriously hurt.
I appreciate your holding this hearing in your chambers, Your Honor. It would have been embarrassing for me.
Frankly, Mr. Cromwell, I didn't do this to save you embarrassment. But knowing of your prominence and your financial ability to repay the owner of the truck for the damages and the gas station attendant for his losses, I thought we might be able to iron things out.
I've already squared things with everyone. And believe me, I'm going to take care of Jerry before I leave.
Yes, I had in mind your taking care of him. He needs someone to take care of him, Mr. Cromwell.
I hope you're not going to subject me to a lecture, Judge Martin. I realize Jerry's missed the attentions of a mother and that I've been away far too much, but I own a shipping business. It's quite necessary for me to travel. This next trip to Africa may require more than a year.
Well, that makes the sentence I had in mind a rather difficult one.
You don't have to go easy on me. I can take it.
I know you can, Jerome. The policeman's bullets and your narrow escape from death didn't seem to faze you at all. I dare say you never even flinched when the gang initiated you.
How do you know about that?
Stretch your arm forward and open your hand.
I won't do it.
Jerry.
All right.
There. Do you see that small figure on the inside of his thumb, Mr. Cromwell?
Why, it looks like a tattoo. I never noticed that before.
There's a great deal you haven't noticed about your son. That's the secret symbol of your gang, isn't it, Jerry?
Yes.
They all have them. A sign of the complete obedience exacted of their members. Mr. Cromwell, that obedience could require even more criminal acts than robbery, and it's sheer luck, or whatever you want to call it, that your son doesn't face a manslaughter charge or worse at this very moment.
You've got enough charges leveled against me. I didn't ask that truck driver to hog the whole road.
That's the one possible thing in your favor, young man. The witnesses say that despite your speed, you weren't completely to blame for the accident. But together with the robbery charge, you could receive a pretty stiff sentence.
You're not going to send the boy to prison.
It's all right. I can take my punishment.
I've decided to suspend the sentence, Mr. Cromwell, and remand him to your custody.
That's very generous,
And when I say your custody, that's what I mean, Mr. Cromwell. Not that of servants or an office manager or one of your corporate attorneys.
But I'm leaving for Africa tomorrow.
Well, then take him with you.
But I can't. I'm going on a business trip. I've invited several important business associates aboard my yacht.
I don't want to go anyway. I'd rather go to prison than go with him.
You will, son. Either you sail with your father to Africa, or you'll spend the next 2 years in a penal institution. Between the two of you, father and son, you can decide which alternative seems the least unpleasant.
The steward said I was to come down to your stateroom, Dad.
Right. I had another report that you've been hanging around the engine room. I thought I made it clear that I won't have you growing up to be a grease monkey.
But gosh, Dad, we've been at sea for weeks, and the engine room's the only place aboard that's any fun.
There are games and magazines in the lounge, and I'm sure one of the guests would be happy to play shuffleboard or deck tennis with you if you asked them.
Okay, whatever you say.
And you needn't act like a martyr. I'd say a cruise on a boat like this is pretty scant punishment for what you've done. Oh, I'm not going to throw it up to you, but you didn't do such a good job of running your own life, so from now on you'll do what I say.
Yes, sir. Is that land I see through the porthole?
The western coast of Africa, but we won't be putting ashore until we've rounded the Cape. And if you behave yourself, I'll take you ashore at Cape Town.
Thanks. Thanks a million.
Later that day, as the equatorial sun began to sink over the horizon, the yacht Althea, progressing southward, came within sight of Tarzan's seacoast cabin. From the rustic pier that Tarzan had once built, Captain Lawrence and he gazed out at the trim craft that glided serenely through the deep blue waters.
There will be days when you'll miss such sights as this, Tarzan.
I only regret that my departure's been delayed so long.
I suppose it was only natural that the news of your leaving caused many of the jungle people to bring their problems to you while they still could.
Well, I've settled as many of them as I can. And I assure you I shall not miss the cruel jungle nor the ruthless sea.
Strange. The sea has always seemed peaceful to me.
It, too, teems with violence. Each denizen of the deep preying on one that is smaller or less ferocious. And that lovely-looking yacht out there may well contain greedy men planning death or destruction in exchange for Africa's gold or diamonds. Its looks may be as deceptive as that graceful shadow there in the water near the end of the pier.
Oh, over there? Looks like a sunken log.
That's my point. Part of nature's eternal ambush.
What in the world is it?
An electric eel, more than 6 feet long.
What?
Its electrical impulses could stun a horse or kill a man.
Well, I'm sure no man would be foolish enough to swim in those waters.
Look, someone's climbing over the rail of that yacht.
Oh, looks like a young lad. Why, he's diving over the side.
And the electric eel's making for him like a dreadnought.
I don't suppose you could head him off, Tarzan?
I doubt it, but I can try.
Now for the conclusion of our story of Tarzan and the Hot Rod Kid. As Jerry Cromwell swam for the shore, the electric eel streaked toward him. Long since blinded by the shocks that came from its own head, it was drawn to its prey by a sort of radar impulse. And as it neared its victim, it sent out its deadly rays, and Jerry half leaped from the water as the current coursed through his body. The electric eel reached its prey, but suddenly Tarzan grasped the slimy creature in his powerful hands. Emitting a fresh burst of voltage, the living battery slithered free. Half dazed, Tarzan turned to grasp the drowning boy.
Lawrence, Lawrence, the boy.
You saved him before you passed out.
The yacht picked him up?
No. I guess they haven't missed him yet. You'd better get a little more rest.
I'm all right, but I don't remember much of what happened.
You dragged the lad to within a few yards of the dock before you caved in.
Well, then you must have jumped into the water to save us both.
Yes, in my last decent uniform. I'm long overdue at Fort Shabir, too, and when I show up in this shrunken excuse for a burlap
Where's
bag...
the boy now?
Right inside the cabin on your bunk. But I'd just let him sleep if I were you. He's had a rather nasty experience, and I would...
He's gone, Captain Lawrence.
What?
He took an old native club of mine. Nothing else.
We best start after him.
You said you were overdue at Fort Shabir. You'd better go there. See if you can learn anything about the boy's past. Before I head for the new colony, I'll follow his spoor. But there's little hope of finding him alive, alone in the jungle at night in a weakened state, with only a crude native club for a weapon. Don't swing the club at that panther, boy. Steady now. Make no move. Just stand there quietly. If he doesn't go away, I'll... See? He lost interest. You couldn't have killed him with that club, and a blow could only have enraged him.
Are you the guy who pulled me out of the water?
Well, Captain Lawrence and I both had a hand in it.
Captain Lawrence? Police? I won't go back, either to him or to prison. And if you're figuring on getting around me with a lot of fancy talk...
I have no desire to get around you. But I'm on my way to a small settlement some distance from here, and since I noticed that tribal tattoo on your thumb and concluded that you must be an African native, I felt you might aid me in my trek.
I don't trust you.
Well, it makes little difference. Be careful not to make any threatening moves against any of the animals unless they attack you. Good night.
Wait.
Yes?
As long as it's so late at night and we're both traveling through the jungle anyway, I guess we might as well stick together.
Yes? Oh, Tarzan.
Mr. Singer, what's happening here?
We have had great trouble since you were here last, Tarzan. Bedouin outlaws who resent our presence have attempted to destroy our pipeline.
One of your men almost took a shot at Tarzan as we approached your village.
And those shots just now?
A few of their snipers, perhaps, or maybe only shadows in the dusk. As I explained to you, my men are not soldiers. They have wasted almost all of our scant supply of ammunition.
Oh, we must get word to the military at Fort Shabir. It's a long trip, but
before you could complete the journey, we would be wiped out. We have learned that they are massing for an attack at any moment.
You once said that you had a truck.
But no one to drive it.
I could drive it, sir. I could go for help.
The road is only a narrow cut through the jungle, hardly wide enough for the truck to get through. After that, miles and miles of bleak desert. And to outdistance their camels, you would have to go like the wind.
I'm not afraid. I'm the original hot rod kid, and I can drive anything on 4 wheels.
But our vehicle does not possess 4 wheels. It operates on caterpillar treads. And anyway, it is not in running order. Ashkenazi started to dismantle it for repairs before he was killed by the lion.
Well, I might be able to fix it, sir.
Who is this amazing young man, Tarzan?
A friend with whom I've journeyed through the jungle for many days. He has my full confidence. And if he can repair the truck and get through to Fort Shabir, perhaps I can help withstand the Bedouins until help comes.
Oh, it is of no use, Tarzan. Your arrows have saved our lifeline many times, but their bullets continue to take our men one after another.
But Jerry may be bringing help at any moment.
No. He did repair the engine, and he succeeded in dodging their bullets and getting clear, but it is many days. They would have been here by now had he delivered the message.
I can't make myself believe that anything happened to him, or that he chose to run away.
From what you told me of his hatred of his father... listen, the final attack has started.
Yes. Well, I shall take my last quiver of arrows, and each shaft will count for one outlaw life before... Singer! Look! The truck! Jerry, the military!
The enemy
Jerry is routed.
Captain Lawrence and his men never fail in their duty. And here comes our little hero.
He has a stranger with him, a civilian.
Welcome back, Jerry.
Thanks. This is my dad, Tarzan, Mr. Singer.
Your father?
Word gets around. He flew from Cape Town to Fort Shabir.
Oh, we're very proud of your son, Mr. Cromwell.
Not half as proud as I am. Do you know what my boy did? On the way to Fort Shabir, this truck broke down in the middle of the desert. He worked on it for 2 days there, under the broiling sun. But he got it going again.
So that was the cause of the delay.
Between you, you've made a man of Jerry, something I failed in. I understand you've sustained great losses here, Mr. Singer, and I'm willing to underwrite anything you name.
They did do some damage to one pumping station and to a few stretches of pipe that ran above ground, but we can make repairs. I should like to ask for one thing, however, Mr. Cromwell.
Name it and it's yours.
If Jerry is willing, we should like him to remain among us, at least long enough to train some of our boys in mechanical work.
I couldn't say no to that, Mr. Singer.
Gee, Dad, thanks.
But I hope you will come home someday, son.
Oh, I will, but I'm going to like staying here for a while. Tarzan, how about you? Maybe you'd like to go along with Dad. He has a keen yacht.
Oh, no, Jerry. When my work here is done, I'm heading back into the Congo. Captain Lawrence found his work in this world, and he does it well. You found yours. And I know now that I shall always continue to do mine.
In just a moment, a word about our next story of Tarzan. Tarzan is reunited with an old friend, the tiny monkey Nakima. His path crosses that of Roboko, a Congo native with a college education, and he meets strangers who have come in search of African masks. Violence flares and a high priest is murdered when a very special mask is stolen in our story of The Mask of Monotiki.
Tarzan, a transcribed creation of the famous Edgar Rice Burroughs, is produced by Walter White, Jr., prepared for radio by Bud Lesser, with original music by Albert Glasser. This is a Commodore production.
That was Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, with Tarzan and the Hot Rod Kid, as originally heard May 16th, 1953. Coming up next is Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life when we return with more from Classic Radio Rewind right after these messages.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through, or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and it's time for You Bet Your Life starring Groucho Marx. Groucho has fun interviewing and quizzing these contestants as they try to win $2,000 in prize money. From December 14th, 1949, this is You Bet Your Life, and the secret word is hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is hair. H-A-I-R.
Really?
You bet your life. Elgin American, creator of America's most beautiful compact, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, finest dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
Groucho! That's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples tonight. George Fenneman, who's first on the docket?
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a pair of newlyweds. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Frank Goodell. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for Elgin American Complex. Thank you. And if you say the secret word, you win a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector that sells for $129.50. It's a common word, something you always have with you. You two are newlyweds, eh? Right.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Frank Goodell, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're not related to John Goodell.
Not that I know of.
Oh. You're the blushing bride, I take it, huh?
I'm the bride.
Mr. Goodell, if I'm not too impudent, how old are you?
53.
And you're a newlywed, huh?
That's right.
Took you a long time to find a preacher, didn't it?
Didn't find a preacher, he was a judge.
What were you up on, a traffic rap? And how old are you, Mrs. Goodell?
I'm 58.
Well, you don't look it. And,
I have to be honest.
Well, you don't have to be honest with me. I won't be honest with you. And How long ago was this knot tied?
4 days.
4 days ago, huh? Was the knot tied good and tight?
I hope so. I think so.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's too tight the way he looks right now. Maybe stopping his circulation. Who attended the wedding, Frank?
Oh, the judge and the court clerk.
Where were you out, bowling? What do you do for a living, Frank?
I'm an attendant at the Brentwood Hospital.
Mrs. Goodell, are you working?
I work there, too.
Oh, you both work
yes.
there? And you met her in the hospital. How did it happen?
Oh, I just bumped into her somewhere around there on the ground. I just don't remember.
You bumped into her on the ground?
I met her somewhere. quite remember.
Were you crawling along? Can you fill in the details of the first meeting, Mrs. Goodell? It must have impressed you, I imagine.
Well, he isn't altogether right.
About anything?
Well, about our meeting.
Oh.
Because it happened.
I thought you were going to say he wasn't all together and let it go.
No, I just mean that that isn't altogether the way it happened. A mutual friend of ours, a lady, came to me and said to me, I want you to meet a friend of mine.
Who was crawling along on the ground?
She didn't say that. But, and
What did she
said,
say?
I want to bring him over to your house. And as I go, I'll say, Frank, get her telephone number. And, of course, if he's going to two-time, he'll try it on me. So, all right, I wrote the telephone number very carefully for him, and then from there we waited for things to happen.
What did you say when you proposed to Mrs. Goodell?
I just said, let's get married.
Did he tell the truth, Mrs. Goodell?
Well, no, it didn't happen quite like that.
Your two stories don't exactly jibe, Frank.
Oh, well, I get all twisted up, you know.
Yeah. Well, when she gets you home, she'll unravel you, I think. Well, in spite of my being so nosy, I hope the wedding bells aren't as cracked as I am, Frank. And we want you to have some perfect Christmas gifts from our sponsor.
For Mrs. Goodell, a gift any bride will enjoy. This lovely engraved dresser set by Elgin American.
That is beautiful.
And what have you got for Frankie boy here, huh?
And Mr. Goodell, for your ideal Christmas gift, Elgin American's hand-engraved sterling silver cigarette case that holds 20 regular or 16 king-size cigarettes.
Well, Frank, let's get back to your marriage, shall we?
Sure, okay.
Well, you don't have to be so enthusiastic about it. Now, after the honeymoon, did you carry her over the threshold?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
Well, that's good enough, I think. Now, Mrs. Goodell, what particular advantages are there in marrying late in life? I mean, you get companionship.
Companionship, yes, indeed.
Security.
Security.
Do you have anything to add to that, Frank?
Not a thing. Everything she says is right.
Haven't you any ideas of your own about why it's nice you got married?
Oh,
Frank?
sure. Clean clothes. Someone to cook for me and play
Clean
canasta.
clothes, huh?
Sure.
You could have married a laundromat, you know.
Someone to play canasta with.
It's a good thing he isn't crazy about football, huh? You might have married Red Grange. Huh? Red Grange. That'll give you an idea of the last time I saw a football game. Now, what's been your biggest thrill, Mrs. Goodell?
I think the fact that we are married. When I met
that's a
Mr.
very
Goodell.
sentimental answer. That's very pretty. Now, what about you, Frank? What's been your most thrilling experience that you can remember?
When I shot my first deer.
You know, you've got more romance in your little finger than you have in all the rest of your body. Well, it's certainly been nice having you here, and we want to best wishes to both of you, from all of us. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $2,000. But first, I want you to pay attention to this.
Hello? Of course I was asleep. What's keeping you awake all night? I know you have to mail it tomorrow to reach her for Christmas. Send a compact set like your Elgin American. Anyone would adore it. All right, so I'm wonderful. Now go to sleep. Good night.
Don't lose sleep over your gift list. Use that wonderful idea, a matching exquisite Elgin American compact and cigarette case to thrill any woman. Add the matching lighter to impress her even more. These very fashionable sets are great values. Start at just $9.95. $6.95 for Elgin American's companion American Beauty sets. Come in sterling silver, too. Tomorrow, buy these stunning compact gifts with matching cigarette case, lighter, or both with the prestige name women prefer, Elgin American.
Okay, now see if you'll get a chance at the $2,000 question. You're going to play the Elgin American game, you bet your life. Fenneman, explain the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of four questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,000 question at the end of the show. Our other two couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected major cities of the world as your category.
Right.
Here's your first question. You have $20. How much you going to try?
5.
In what country is the city of Leipzig?
Poland. Oh,
One answer between you now. No, I'm sorry. It's Germany.
They now have $15.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the 15 will you try?
5 more.
5 more. In what country is the city of Prague?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia is right.
Now they have $20
All right,
again.
now you're back where you are. Here's your third question. How much of the 20 are you going to risk?
10 of it.
$10. In what country is the city of Sheffield?
England.
England is correct.
They're on the way now. They have $30.
You've got $30. How much you going to try?
10.
$10. All right. And what country is the city of Warsaw?
Poland.
Poland is correct.
And they wind up with $40.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now stick around. You're still in the running for the big question.
Well, Groucho, the secret word is still hair.
It is.
And our next couple may say it. They've been in a waiting room off stage, and here they come. A postal clerk and a housewife selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Mrs. Carrie Wolf and Mr. Jack Nelson meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins the 16mm Apollo Sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. Jack Nelson.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine.
Jack Nelson, I knew you were the postal clerk. You have that baggy look about you. Where are you from, Jack?
I was born in Mississippi.
Uh-huh. And what zone number?
Well, they didn't have zones in those days.
Mrs. Carrie Wolf?
Yes,
Where are you from, Carrie?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, about 10 minutes ride from the river on a streetcar.
Any particular river?
Mississippi.
Oh, the Mississippi. What does your husband do, Carrie?
He's a chemical salesman.
Chemical salesman?
Yes.
What kind of a salesman is that, huh?
Oh, he sells all kinds of chemicals.
Well, then I guess he's a chemical salesman. How'd you meet him?
Well, I met him at a picnic, and he said if I had a bathing suit, I'd go in swimming. So I told him I'd loan him mine. He weighed 120 pounds, and I weighed 204. So.
And what were you wearing?
I didn't go in the water. I didn't want to get my hair wet.
Well, Mrs. Wolf, you said hair, and that's the secret word. George, tell her what she wins.
A 16mm Apollo Sound movie projector. Now, Mrs. Wolf, you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself. It sells for $129.50.
Jack, tell me, who do you work for? Insufficient postage?
United States Post Office.
You work for the post office, but who's your boss, Sandy?
Well, the Postmaster General.
Don't be so sure, you know. The way things are going in Washington these days, you're liable to find your boss as the Postmaster Admiral. So what do you do as a postal clerk?
Well, I sell money orders, I work in the register section, and sort mail.
Sort mail. Tell me, do you run across some pretty interesting confidential letters?
Oh, I never read letters.
Well, then I'll never waste my time writing you a letter. Are there any new postal regulations we should know about this year?
Yes, there's one important one.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, that is to Put 2 cents on all unsealed Christmas cards instead of 1.5 cents.
Just put a 2-cent stamp on it? Don't you have to put the address on it? Now, postage due, that's you. Tell me, Mr. Nelson. Maybe you don't read letters, but I'll bet you read what's on the postal cards, don't you?
Well, only the ones addressed to myself.
This baby is on to me. You mean you don't even take a little glance at other people's postal cards?
No.
Well, how do you know where to deliver them? Now, tell me, Dead Letters, I presume the Christmas season is your busiest time. Do you have any advice for our listeners that will make your work easier?
Yes, they could address all letters plainly and be sure that all packages are tied securely and mail the letters early.
Can you read mail when you hold it up to the light?
No. No.
Oh, you've tried it, huh? Well, it's been interesting having you here, and we want you to have the perfect Christmas gifts from our sponsor. Fenneman?
For Mrs. Wolf, Elgin American's beautiful simulated pearls. They're the finest pearls made by man. I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And for Mr. Nelson, Elgin American's popular cigarette case with today's smart leather-like look. Something to show off.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life for $2,000. You run your $20 into more than the other two couples, and you get the chance at the big question later. Fenneman's offstage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won.
The newlyweds won $40.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected capitals of states as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
How much you going to try?
10.
$10. All right. What is the capital of Colorado?
Denver.
Denver is correct.
Groucho, they have $30.
Don't forget, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $30 will you try?
25.
Is that all right with you, Jack?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. What is the capital of Utah?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City is correct.
They're climbing, Groucho. They have $55.
And here is your third question. How much of the 55 are you going to try?
52.
What about you, Jack? You've got something to say about this, too, you know.
About 50, I think.
50? Is that all right with you, Carrie?
Yes.
All right. Now, what is the capital of South Dakota?
Pierre.
Pierre is correct.
Now they have $105.
All right, you've got $105, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now,
105.
you're going to bet on. Is that all right with you, Jack?
Yes, that's fine.
105. Huh? What is the capital of Arkansas?
Little Rock.
Little Rock is correct.
And they wind up with $210.
All right, Carrie. Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $2,000 question. But right now, listen.
Jingle bells, jingle for the girls. Oh, what joy it is to get Elgin American's gorgeous pearls.
That's a woman's theme song this Christmas. Elgin American's new and fabulous simulated pearls are a joy to receive and wear. Make the most luxurious gifts for the most reasonable price. Pearls have a beauty that's always in fashion. And Elgin American pearls have the beauty never seen before. They're a revelation in quality, luster, clasps. Come distinctively gift-boxed, even jewel-boxed in metal for her dressing table. Yet all this complete superiority costs just $2 to $20 plus tax. See chokers, ropes, bracelets, earrings, strands for children and teenagers, too. Buy them tomorrow for the gift supreme. They're the simulated pearls of all time, the values of all time. Magnificent Elgin American pearls.
Now then, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the chance at the $2,000 question. George, who's leading so far?
The postal clerk and the housewife with $210. And the secret word is still hair. Our final couple is coming in from their waiting room. Perhaps they'll say the secret word. We invited some physical instructors to the show tonight, and just before we went on the air, the studio audience selected Mr. Karis Kern and a high school boy, Jules Kirker, to be his partner. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, Giants, to the Elgin American Club. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins the 16-millimeter movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you always have with you. So you're a physical a physical instructor.
Yes.
Physical instructor, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you from, Karis?
Colfax, Colorado.
Is that near Hot Fats? Cold Fat?
That's right. I think they changed the name, though.
Well, I should think they will. Where are you from, Shrimp? Huh? Julius, huh?
Yeah, you can call me Jules.
Well, that'll be fun, huh? Call me Jules, too, huh? Where are you from?
I was born in the capital of the United States, Brooklyn.
Not since the World Series, old boy. Do you have any children at home?
No, I'm only 15.
You have 15 children at home, huh?
No, I'm only 15 years old.
Well, answer the question. Do you have any children at home? Huh?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Well, that's a nice-sized family. How long have you been married?
I'm not married.
How'd you meet your wife? Once I fasten on to something, there's no letting it. How'd you meet your wife, Julius?
Well, I haven't got a wife.
Oh, a bachelor, eh?
Yeah.
You live all alone?
No, I live with my family.
Now we're getting someplace. Why didn't you say so? How big is your family?
Well, I have 2 sisters, a brother, my mother and father, and myself.
Mm-hmm. You're evading the question. How big is your father?
My father's not so tall, but I have a brother taller than you.
Don't forget I'm sitting down here. And I'm wearing glasses, huh? Mr. Karen, who are you?
I'm a physical director.
Now, you're threatening me, too, huh? Where do you do your physical instructing?
At the Marcy House of Health.
Oh, I thought Marcy was in the cold, cold ground, huh? Well, what do you do in this abattoir, huh? Or slaughterhouse, isn't it?
We add years to your life and life to your years.
Did you just make that up?
No, that's our motto.
Oh. Tell me, body and soul, what are some good exercise people can do at home?
One of the best is open a window and stand for it and take several deep breaths.
Well, that wouldn't be any good for me. I haven't got strength enough to open the window, huh? How's your wife, Julius?
I haven't got a wife.
She left you, eh? Huh? Well, you've still got your family, huh? You tell your father he doesn't scare me a bit. Are you working, Julius?
Sometimes I work down at my dad's store.
What kind of a store?
He has a grocery store down La Brea and Adams.
Uh-huh. What's the name of it?
La Brea Food Center.
You ever hook any stuff down there?
Well, what I do for him is sometimes when he's busy, I stock and answer the telephone sometimes.
What kind of phone calls do you get?
People having orders.
Like what? What do they order?
Food.
Well, I didn't think they ordered underwear in the grocery store. How much dough do you make down there?
All depends.
Depends if your father's out of the store, you mean? What are you saving for?
Made my college education.
Where do you want to go?
Undecided.
Is that near here? You've got a girl, Julius, huh?
Yeah, slightly.
Well, she should be slight at that age. What is she like? Could you describe her, Julius?
Well, she wears jet black hair. Sometimes she wears...
Here we go again. You just said hair, and that's tonight's secret word. George, tell him what he wins.
A 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. Now, Julius, you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself. It sells for $129.50.
How's your wife, Julius?
Haven't got a wife.
Oh, you got rid of her, huh? Still got your family, I hope. Now we have some wonderful Christmas gifts for both of you. George?
For Julius, Elgin American's exclusive heart-shaped compact that's definitely different. It's jeweler's bronze that looks like gold, just the thing for his mother's Christmas present. And for Mr. Kern, this lovely sterling silver compact with 14-karat gold engraving. An Elgin American, of course. His wife will fall in love with it Christmas morning.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life. If you can beat our other two couples in the quiz, you'll get a crack at the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners.
The postal clerk and the housewife are ahead with $210.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous pioneers of science and invention. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, how much are you going to bet on your first question?
10. Okay.
Okay.
Who invented the sewing machine?
Benjamin Franklin. I think it is him. Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
No. I'm sorry. It was Elias Howe. H-O-W-E.
They now have $10.
Well, you're down to $10. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $10 will you try?
Five.
Okay, who discovered the preventer for rabies?
Louis Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur is right.
They're climbing back. They have $15.
That's right, Louis Pasteur. That's Tony Pasteur's brother, huh? Now, here's your third question. You have $15. How much are you going to try? $10. Who invented the wireless?
Thomas.
One answer between you.
Benjamin Franklin.
No, you're just Benjamin Franklin happy here, that's all. This time it happened to be Marconi.
They now have $5.
Well, now you've sunk all the way down to $5. You're getting as low as Julius here, huh? Now you've got $5. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 5 are you going to try?
Throw the works.
You're going to shoot the works, huh? Who invented the cotton gin?
Eli Whitney.
Eli Whitney is correct.
And they wind up with $10. And that means the housewife and the postal clerk with $210 get the chance at the $2,000 question. And now, a word from Myron Wallace.
The name Elgin American means the very finest quality, designing, finish, and craftsmanship. The best value. In exquisite compacts, gorgeous simulated pearls, magnificent dresser sets, magic action lighters, wondrous lighter cases, distinguished cigarette cases, handsome military sets, fascinating musical humidors. Your favorite store has a complete assortment of the newest Elgin American styles right now. See them. And for your own proud use, for thrilling prestige gifts, always buy Elgin American.
And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the postal clerk and the housewife.
Ready to try for $2,000, eh? Good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly. And please, no help from the audience. You ready? The chairman of Europe's Western Union Defense Alliance is a famous British soldier. He wears a beret. For $2,000, what's his name? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
General Montgomery.
General Montgomery is right, huh? That's right, you win $2,000. You had the right answer, so you win $2,000 from Elgin American Compacts. What are you going to do with all that money? What are you going to do with it, Mrs. Wolf?
Whenever I have a streak of good luck, I always remember charity, and then I have to go under 2 major operations, and that'll take care of that.
Well, that's a very worthy way of spending the money, huh? And while you're thinking of charity, remember, charity begins right here, huh? And Mr. Nelson, you old postal clerk, you, what are you going to do with your swag?
Well, I'm going to finish buying furniture for the house, and I'd like to make a contribution to the Westfield Hospital for Negroes.
Well, you received Let's see, you received lovely gifts from Elgin American. You won $2,000 plus $210. You really cleaned up tonight. Congratulations.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx, presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately? Don't go away now. Bing the Crosby is next, you know.
The secret word was hair from You Bet Your Life, as originally heard December 14th, 1949. A new programming note that is coming up on June 6th, Old Time Radio USA is honored and proud to air our D-Day Remembrance Special, a special 38-hour tribute featuring the first 38 hours from NBC Radio from June 6th, 1944. D-Day marked a major turning point in World War II, the beginning of the end for the Axis powers as Allied forces stormed Normandy. And Old Time Radio USA and the WOTR Radio Network brings you the full NBC radio coverage from June 6th and 7th, 1944. Over 38 hours of live news, music, drama, and comedy as it all unfolded. Hear voices like FDR, General Eisenhower, and entertainers from The Bob Hope Show to Fibber McGee and Molly. Reporters were on the beaches, in the boats, and across the world. This is history, raw and real. Tune in beginning June 6th at 2:45 a.m. Eastern Time when the first and subsequent bulletins aired. This is our old-time radio remembrance of the Normandy invasion, so you will not want to miss this 38-hour special. And with that wraps up another week of Classic Radio Rewind. Don't forget to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and join us next week where we will hear from Crime Classics and also from the Fat Man. So, for Classic Radio Rewind and the WOTR Radio Network, this is Barry Slinker saying goodbye for now.
Classic Radio Rewind is a production of the WOTR Radio Network. For more Classic Radio Rewind, and to listen to any of the WOTR Radio Network stations, go to www.wotrradionetwork.com.